Coming up on Mountain News this morning, another Kentucky politician throws his hat in the ring for the governor's mansion. And an Eastern Kentucky hero finally returns to his rightful home so his family and community can say a proper goodbye.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
6 o'clock Thursday morning, May 12th. Mountain News this morning. Jim Freeman here. Glad you're here as well. And we're celebrating a birthday today, Brandon Robinson, on this May the 12th. Good morning, sir. How about some weather to go along with the cake and the candles?
Yes, sir. We'll hook you right up with that.
Okay.
So it is a good day so far overall. We're going to continue to see again some nicer conditions this morning, some nicer conditions today. But this is the last day as we see the full-on sunshine, at least for the most part, before we see some rain chances creep back in. Let's take a look at our cameras this morning. We start up on top of Whitesburg Pine Mountain there, US 119, all quiet up there, no major issues. And we see across the region 40s, 50s, even some 60s out there. 48 Irvin, 63 up the road in Moorhead, 61 in Pikeville, 61 in Logan, 61 in Jackson, 50 in Hazard, 52 London, 52 in Somerset, 49 in Harlan this morning. 75 is our average high. Our forecast high is 82, which will be close to the record, but not close enough. 88 set back on this day at 1982 at the National Weather Service office at Jackson. Jim?
Thanks, Brandon. The field of Republicans running for Kentucky governor became just a little more crowded yesterday. Attorney General Daniel Cameron announced that he is running for the Republican nomination in next year's election. As Chad Hedrick explains, it's sure going to be a lively race for the governor's mansion.
Three big names in Kentucky politics say they are the Republican that can defeat Governor Andy Beshear in next year's election. They're also being sued by the governor after legislation passed that would remove current members of the executive branch ethics commission and shift the majority of the appointments to the other state officers.
But all of us conservatives feel a weight of responsibility right now. That's why I've decided to run for governor.
Kentucky's Attorney General Daniel Cameron laying out his plans for Kentucky in a minute-long campaign announcement video. He was once considered for a U.S. Supreme Court nomination by former President Trump and has close ties to Senator Mitch McConnell, once serving as his legal counsel.
Team Kentucky needs a new coach, one who will build us up, not divide us. I'm Daniel Cameron, and that's exactly the kind of governor I will be.
Just Monday, one of his primary opponents, Agriculture Commissioner Ryan Quarles, posting his own video a week after launching his campaign.
It's not been easy for us, but I know I have the proven experience to lead our Commonwealth to brighter days.
Nearly 10 months ago, State Auditor Mike Harmon first got the ball rolling, announcing his bid for governor, saying Kentuckians have had their liberties and their livelihoods stolen, throwing jabs at Governor Beshear's COVID-19 response.
His people sent out state police basically to take down license plates at churches, which I thought was atrocious.
The Kentucky Democratic Party was quick to respond after Cameron's announcement, saying Governor Beshear is one of the most popular governors in the country. A recent study from Morning Consult showed Beshear as the most popular Democratic governor in the U.S. and the 12th most popular overall. In Frankfort, Chad Hedrick, WYMT Mountain News.
There's still time for candidates to file, and we're waiting to hear from some who say they're considering a run. That includes names like State Senators Ralph Alvarado and Max Wise, as well as former U.S. Ambassador Kelly Knight Craft, who served under President Trump and is the wife of Hazard native and coal company CEO Joe Craft. Former President Donald Trump has endorsed all of Kentucky's incumbent Republican members of Congress for re-election. The endorsements came out Tuesday for Andy Barr, James Comer, Hal Rogers, Brett Guthrie, and Thomas Massey. Early voting in this year's primary election in Kentucky starts today. You don't have to have an excuse to vote in person today, Friday, or Saturday. The primary is May 17th. You can check out a sample ballot ahead of time at govoteky.gov.com. Kentucky families have another place they can find milk to feed their babies while formula supplies remain low. The Kentucky Blood Center has milk depots at its Somerset, Pikeville, Andover, and Beaumont locations. Screened donors can come in at their convenience, log how much milk they're dropping off, and it's safely shipped to the milk bank in Indiana where it's pasteurized. Officials with the milk bank say they're seeing an uptick in families requesting donations, but also an increase in women willing to give.
It's really, I mean, a great resource, and it just kind of speaks to that community attitude that we have here at the Blood Center of you can't make this stuff up. You can't manufacture it. It's the nutrients and things that are in breast milk are vital to a baby's growth. And so we want to support because we understand how important it is to have community donors supporting a cause.
Now, the donations don't come free of charge. The milk bank charges by the ounce, but also provides financial assistance for those who need it. If you'd like to donate or are in need of milk, head to the milk bank's website to find out how you can start the process. With that shortage in formula comes a desire from caregivers to do what they can. The public health workers say you should be careful with old school or new homemade formula recipes being shared on social media. Some are resulting to attempts to make a formula to replace the kind they are unable to find on the shelves. But Jessica Couch with the Letcher County Health Department says that may cause more harm than good.
We definitely recommend, them talking to their pediatrician first before they try anything that they may see on the internet, any type of, Facebook post. It could be something that could be harmful for their baby. It's important for the baby to get the correct amount of nutrition.
She says anyone who receives WIC can contact their local health department to consult about a different formula, and everyone should be contacting a pediatrician before making any changes. One mission in Letcher County is working to help families in need as baby supplies become harder to come by. God's Love from a Diaper Bag, an organization that has been working in family outreach for the last 22 years, set up at the Letcher County Health Department yesterday for its baby diaper giveaway. Health Department representatives say it's a blessing to have the group work alongside them to help families in the area, especially as they deal with the stress of a nationwide formula shortage.
It does help to take, that burden off of families. Right now with the price of gas, the price of groceries, providing for their families can be very hard and difficult. So, for us to be able to do this to the community and help, it's a great service that, we can offer them.
The mission is always operating in Jenkins, and the diaper giveaway is set up at the health department every 2 months. A Korean War veteran that was killed in action and presumed lost in battle in the 1950s is finally home in the mountains. WYMT's Zach Hawk has more from Whitesburg.
After nearly 70 years, a war hero is home in Whitesburg, and his nephew is there to greet him.
He was my idol growing up. He was a little bit older, but we grew up together, so we were actually closer than brothers at most of our lives until he left.
Donald Mencken from Letcher County went missing in action during the Korean War in June 1953 at Outpost Harry in what is considered one of the most vicious battles of the war.
Donnie refused to go. He stayed and fought for 3 more hours. He was stubborn and he was not going to leave, so he didn't, and it ended up costing him his life.
In 1954, the 21-year-old Army corporal was declared killed in action and said to be unrecoverable in 1956. His remains were buried at the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific in Hawaii until 2019, when he was disinterred and identified. Receiving this closure confirmed a heroic soldier's story.
They were one of the few units to ever be given the command, hold at all costs. And they held at all costs because if they hadn't, then Seoul, which was the capital, would have been overrun.
His remains traveled from Louisville to Everidge Funeral Home in Whitesburg Wednesday, escorted by Todd Matonich with the organization Rolling Thunder. He says Kentuckians lined every bridge the whole way to Letcher County.
He is here. He's where he belongs, with his family, his community when he left, and it's very humbling to have him home safe and sound.
There will be a funeral for Mencken this Saturday, May 14th.
It's really hard to be able to express your appreciation to all of the men and women that came out, all the first responders that have been with us, in front of us, behind us, all the way through. It's just been tremendous.
In Letcher County, Zach Hawk, WYMT Mountain News.
Thanks, Zach. Mencken's funeral will be held Saturday in Whitesburg. The service will take place at First Baptist Church at 1 p.m., followed by a graveside ceremony with full military honors.
6:09 on this Thursday morning. Glad to see that hero back home in Letcher County. Let's take a look at some of our temperatures as we head into the morning hours today. 52 Somerset, London, 51 in Prestonsburg and Williamson, 63 in Moorhead, and 43 in Clintwood. Those are our warm and cold spots today. 82 this afternoon, calm conditions under mostly sunny skies. And as we look at the headlines for the next couple of days, the streak will end today. We've had several days of very nice weather, scattered storms back tomorrow, and then weekend rain chances will plague us, but it looks like we may squeak by on Saturday morning for the 5th annual Gray Matters 5K, 10K. Jim?
Let's hope so, Brandon. Thank you. It's 6:10. Thanks for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, the debate over abortion rights still rages on among federal lawmakers. We'll have those details in just a few minutes.